Section 13, Final Regulatory Flexibility. We've prepared final regulatory flexibility analysis according with the Section 603 Regulatory Flexibility Act. Analysts relate the modernization of oil and gas disclosure requirements and initial regulatory flexibility analysis prepared in accordance with the regulatory flexibility in conjunction with the proposing relief. The proposing release include the solicited comment further and with the IRFA. Reasons for and objectives of the new rules and amendment. The Commission adopted the current disclosure regime of the oil and gas produced the company in 1978 and 1982, respectively to the time that there have been significant change of the oil and gas industry and the markets, including the technology advancement for the change of the type of the projects for the niche oil and gas companies and the companies. On December 12, 2007, the Commission published with the concept of relief of the possible revision of the disclosure of the requirements of the relating to and oil and gas reserves prior to the oil or issue of the concept of relief of the mega industry participation expressed concerns that our disclosure rules are no longer in alignment with the current industry of the practice, but therefore limited usefulness for the market investor. For the new rule of the amendment of existing forms of the intent of the minor is updated the reserve of the definition and reflect the change of the oil and gas industry market. New technologies occur with the decade within current rules of the adopted, including expanding the scope of the permissible technology, establishing certain level of reserve classification of the company, and the scope of the company filings of the type of the breach of the ability to include the company's reserve of the providing information regarding the objective qualification of any third-party primary responsible for the preparing and auditing the reserve of the estimate, but the company representative is listed a third party with the death of the reserve audit qualification makes it taken to ensure the independence objective of any of the employee with the primarily reasonable with the preparing audit and reserve estimate. The amendments also harmonize with our full cost accounting rules, change of adopting respect to the closure of oil and gas reserve with the new rules and amendment intent with the codify with the monitoring centralized with the disclosure items of gas companies into regulation SK. Finally, with the new amendments are intended to harmonize the oil of the gas disclosure form private issuers with the disclosure by domestic companies. Overall, the new rules and amendments attempt to provide improved disclosure about oil and gas companies' business prospects without scarcely clarity, comparability with the provided protection, transparency for the investor. Part B, significant issue raised by the commenters. We did not receive the comments briefly addressing the impact of the proposed rule of amendments for the small entity, but however the trouble of the commenters related with the burdens would be placed with the companies affected by their proposal. The particular commenters believe that the proposal required with even the different prices for disclosure accounting purposes would impose a significant burden on oil and gas companies with conservative over the amendments are adopting amendments of the disclosure rule full cost accounting method that will recover the use of the single price for both for purposes similar commenters insert certain aspects of a proposal so the new definition geographical area disclosure commission accumulation type of the detail of the disclosure and significantly agree with the commenters significantly reduced level of the detail required with the disclosure requirements. See small entities subject to the new rules and amendment. The new rules and amendments affect small entities against the oil and gas producing activity security which for the requires registered section 12 of the Exchange Act with the required to file with a report under section 15D of the Exchange Act. New rules and amendments would affect with small entities filed with the file with the registration statement that not yet to become an effect with the Security Act and have not been withdrawn Security Act of the Rule 157. Security Act Rule 010A with the defining the issue for the small business, small organization purpose of the Regulatory Flexibility Act. If total assets $5 million or less last date of the most recent official year with the new rules and amendments have effect with the small entity with the operating companies engage oil and gas producing activity based on file with the 2007 estimate that there are approximately 28 oil and gas companies that may be considered small entities. D. Reporting record keeping other compliance requirements. The new rule of the amendment of regulation SK expand to some of the existing disclosure, eliminating other particular new disclosure requirements of the which for the request of the industry participant and include the following disclosure reserve of the non-traditional sources, bitumen and shale, oil gas reserve, optional disclosure, probable possible reserve, the optional disclosure, oil gas reserve, sensitivity price disclosure, development of providing undeveloped research for including those for the 5 years or more of the explanation should be continually considered approved. Disclosure technology for the established reserve of the company's initial filings with the commission filings that include material additional reserve estimate, disclosure of the company's internal control or other over reserve estimates. Qualification technical person primarily responsible for overseeing preparation audit reserve the estimate. The company represents the disclosure of the authority of third party prepare reserve the estimate, conducting reserve audit, process review, file with a report with a third party disclosure based on the new definition of term geographical area, Will be non-mandatory retention period for the information disclosed. The information disclosed by the public available to the EDGAR filing system. Agency action minimum effect with the small entities. Consider the different complying with the term with the small entities will be effective with the new rule of the amendment. The proposed relief of the solicited comment regarding the possible difference in with the small entity who does not receive the commencement with a particular issue. However, we believe the difference will consist of the purpose of the rule of the new rules and amendments are designed to minorize the disclosure requirements of oil and gas companies. Typically, we believe the oil and gas companies benefit with the minorization of the rule. Even the new rules and amendment, all companies will be allowed use modern technology established reserve that include the operation of conventional research for the oil, for the gas reserve, the estimate, adopting different sharing with the disclosure of small entities would significantly reduce comparable between the companies. However, the new rule of the amendment do not permit the companies to disclose the probable possible reserves. We believe the removal of the prohibition against such reserves will enable the company to disclose a broader view of their perspective. We believe the particular benefits smaller oil and gas companies may have significantly improved the resource reserve of the portfolio, so the disclosure may assist companies in raising capital development and projects of the properties and in those properties. Section 14, update codification financial reporting policy.